Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Vice President Biden, with all due respect, your latest comments are both pathetic and hurtful.
Joe Biden, you put black men in jail. You palled around with segregationists. In fact, you said that integration would turn America into a racial jungle.
Whew, I am still livid about the events of today. Today, Joe Biden got up there and said that if you don't vote for him, you are not black.
I saw Joe Biden's comments on the Breakfast Club, and I got so many emotions, so many feelings right now. The first one is just anger.
Joe Biden was the guest on this show this morning, and you're not going to believe what he said. I mean, seriously, you can't make this up.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Let me quote this. Let me just read this and quote this because I want to make sure I got it correctly. If you have a problem, this is Joe Biden now, quote, if you have a problem with figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. You ain't black. See, first of all, I have a problem with his choice of language. And secondly, this is a prime example of how liberal Democrats, they love to dictate the way black people should think.
Your quote, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, you ain't black. Well, I think that in civil discourse, we can have our disagreements on politics, but you challenging me and millions of other people out there on their blackness, descendants of slaves, from you, is some seriously condescending, out of touch bullcrap.
And yet you think that somehow I'm not black if I don't vote for you? You're crazy.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
And it's not even about all those things that you've done over the years. It's not even about how the Democrat Party has destroyed the African-American family and has destroyed the African-American community with bad and failed leadership and policies. This is about the idea that you have that you think that you own black votes. You think that you own black people.
I'm livid right now. Now, I'm not telling you to go vote for the other guy at all. This is not that. So if you are an alt-right or super conservative who's about to get a hard on because you think a black man's about to call out the Democratic Party, you go sit down. Go sit your ass down. Because Republicans has failed us as a community as well. I'm calling out this one incident. Joe Biden, what you said today was one of the most racist and condescending things I've ever heard as a voter in my entire life. My love for who I am as a black man is not dictated on who I vote for.
You know, it's 2020. We're in the middle of this pandemic, and this guy, because he's trying to win an election, comes out and says that if I'm supporting Donald Trump, then I'm not black. Like, who the hell are you? You don't even know where I'm from. You didn't walk a day in my shoes. You didn't grow up the way I grew up in the inner city of Brooklyn, New York. You didn't see my mother struggle. You didn't see me have to work hard to get through high school, get through college, and make something of my life. For you to come out here and then just say that because I support Donald Trump that I'm not black? Man, the hell with you, Joe Biden.
Black people are lucky enough to have an administration that actually passed criminal justice reform. You know, so we actually released all of those black men and women that you spent decades putting in prison.
You're embarrassing yourself, Mr. Vice President. Should you even be running for president in the Democratic Party that says they're for black people? Do you really believe that black people are owned by the Democratic Party? Do you really believe that a black person who doesn't vote for you is therefore not legitimately black? Have you forgotten that the Republican Party was started in opposition for a Democratic Party that thought it was okay to own people? I am a man, Mr. Vice President. Too many people have died for me to have the right to think and vote for myself.
Because I'm going to be black and proud till the casket drops. My love for my Nigerian, Cameroonian, and Congo descent will never, ever change. Don't you or any other candidate, whether they be Democrat or Republican, ever formulate your lips again to question anyone's blackness based on party lines. Ever again. It's racist, it's condescending, it's wrong.
And that's just truth. The second part of my feelings and my emotions are just, and what are we doing as a country where something like this is even tolerated, where frankly, you got some black people who are laughing about it. That's wrong. That's just as wrong. My attitude is simple. I don't judge people by the color of their skin. I don't care if you white, black, Hispanic, or whatever the case might be. That's irrelevant. If you believe something, believe in it. If you have ideals, believe in those. If you have backup for it, then support it and stand by it. But just to say that somebody's less than black because they want to support one candidate over another, where have we gotten to? That's reprehensible.
We actually have an administration that permanently funded historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, the one that under your administration, when you were vice president, had to struggle to get funding. We actually have an administration that at one point attained the lowest black unemployment in American history. So no, Joe Biden, I do not have to vote for you to prove that I'm black enough. We do not have to vote for Democrats to prove that we are black enough. Democrats do not own the votes of black people, white people, Latino people, Asian people, or anybody else. And the fact that you would have the gall to say that, that tells me that you don't really care about black people. You don't really care about black votes. You think that you own them. Well, I've got news for you. This is one black vote that you do not own, that you will never own. And I bet there are millions of black Americans all across the country that feel the same.
Once again, this is not a pro-party post. This is just laying it out. I believe that what Joe Biden said today is what many politicians has felt for the last 40 years. Joe Biden was just dumb enough to say it. We have to make these people earn our vote, no matter which side of the aisle they're on. Okay? Make them earn your vote. What is your plan? Don't throw racism around anymore. Don't pull out hot sauce from your purse. Okay? Don't run around quoting Bible verses and singing old gospel hymnals anymore. Don't you say ain't.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
It's incorrigible. It should never be tolerated. It's asinine. It's ridiculous. It's racist.
You should think long and hard about what you said and what it means. And also, your use of the word ain't. You should also make sure you carry hot sauce in your purse next time.
It isn't. Okay? What is your goddamn plan? Today you lost me, Joe Biden. You lost me, bro. That was racist as hell.
Well, you know what? I got a message for Joe Biden. Let me be clear about one thing. I ain't voting for you, but I am black. And I am voting for President Donald J. Trump. You got me, Joe Biden, and those other liberals who think you can think for us. Now we're not even black if we don't vote for you. What an insult. Peace out, America.
Deuces.
Those are my thoughts.
See you in November.